He lost a queen for a moment of passion. And paid the price. She waited, she trusted, and he broke everything. They were best friends before they were anything else. The kind of bond that starts with laughter over little things and turns into late-night calls, secrets, and shared dreams. She was his safe place, the one who saw him at his lowest and still stood by him. She knew his flaws, the anger, the insecurities, the brokenness from past relationships, and still chose to love him with a heart that asked for nothing but honesty in return. She believed in him when he didn't believe in himself. While others walked away, she stayed. She poured her heart into building something real, something lasting. She imagined a future with him, not perfect, but theirs. And in return, all she ever wanted was loyalty, presence, and truth. But temptation doesn't always come wearing a warning sign. Sometimes, it comes with a smile and casual compliments in a place you visit every day. That's how it started, just a little attention from someone new at work. A harmless conversation, a coffee break, a few laughs. Nothing serious, that's what he told himself. Nothing serious. But it became a secret. And secrets have a way of growing. One night, he gave in. One night of weakness. One night that he would spend the rest of his life regretting. He came home and kissed her on the forehead like everything was fine. Like her love didn't deserve more. But she knew. Maybe not the full story, but she could feel the shift. The warmth in his touch was gone. The way he looked at her changed. And when a woman truly loves you, she knows when she's no longer the only one in your heart. She didn't scream. She didn't beg, she simply pulled away, slowly, quietly. The light in her eyes dimmed, and the trust she'd once placed so fearlessly in his hands turned into silence. One day, she just stopped texting him during the day. Stopped asking when he'd be home. Stopped caring about the lies, because she was done believing in them. And when she left, she took nothing with her but her dignity. No drama, no tears. Just a quiet goodbye. He didn't understand it at first. Thought she just needed space. Thought she'd come back like always. But weeks turned into months, and she never did, because this time, she had nothing left to give. Now, he scrolls through her old messages. Reads her good morning texts like they're poems from a love he'll never know again. Listens to old voice notes just to hear the sound of someone who truly cared. And every time he sees her happy without him, smiling, glowing, moving on, it crushes him. Because he knows, he didn't just lose a girlfriend. He lost his best friend. He lost his peace. He lost his forever, for a moment of thrill he barely even remembers. And now, regret is the only thing that stays. She was the kind of woman who loved quietly, but fiercely. The type who stayed up late just to make sure he got home safe. Who believed in second chances, and even third ones. Because when she loved, she didn't do it halfway. She believed in him, in the man he could be, not just the one he kept showing her. The first time he lied, her heart cracked. But she forgave him. The second time, it shattered a little more. But again, she chose love. And the third? That should have been the end, but she still stayed, thinking maybe this time, he meant it when he said, "I'll change." Because love can make you blind, not to the truth, but to the hope that somehow, things will get better. He kept sneaking around. Whispering on calls in the bathroom. Hiding messages behind passwords. Coming home smelling like someone else's perfume, with excuses rehearsed so well, they almost sounded true. Almost. And she? She kept pretending not to notice. Not because she was weak, but because she loved him enough to give him space to become the man he promised to be. She didn't want to give up on him. She thought if she just loved him a little harder, he'd remember how to love her back. But love isn't supposed to feel like waiting to be chosen. It's not supposed to feel like begging for the bare minimum while giving someone your all. One morning, she woke up next to him, and realized she felt more alone lying beside him than she ever had on her own. That was the moment everything changed. She didn't scream. She didn't pack her bags in the middle of the night. She didn't write a long goodbye letter or leave a trail of tears. She just walked away. Quietly, completely. Without drama. Without closure. Because when a woman finally gives up after giving you everything, there's nothing left to say. He didn't notice at first. Thought she just needed space. Thought she was being emotional. But the silence hit harder than any fight ever did. Her absence echoed in his home, in his mind, in his chest. He started noticing the little things she used to do. The good morning texts. The coffee ready before he left. The way she always reminded him of important dates. The warmth she brought into every room she entered. Gone. And that's when it hit him, she was never asking for perfection. Just honesty. Just effort. Just to feel loved the way she loved him. But he chose lies. Chose games. Chose everything else but her. Now, every night, he lies awake, haunted not by what he did, but by the woman who stayed far longer than she should have. The woman who fought for him, even when he didn't fight for her. He lost a queen who fought for him, and now he fights his own guilt every night. He swore the other woman meant nothing. Said it was just a mistake. A moment of weakness. A distraction, but what he failed to understand was. For her, it meant everything. But instead of effort, she got excuses. Instead of time, she got delays. Instead of truth, she got silence. She started feeling more like an option than a priority. And slowly, something changed in her. She stopped asking when he'd be home. Stopped texting first. Stopped smiling at his half-hearted apologies. Because you can only pour from a cup for so long, before it runs dry. She gave him so many chances, not because she was naive, but because her love was real. She thought if she just held on a little longer, maybe he'd see her again. Really see her, the way he used to, back when they danced in the rain and laughed at stupid jokes. Back when love felt like a partnership, not a one-sided effort. But he didn't. He didn't fight for her. Didn't notice she was slipping away. He took her patience as permanence, thinking she'd always be there. Until someone else came along. Someone who looked at her like she was magic. Who showed up, listened, cared, and never made her feel like she was too much. And just like that, she was gone. Gone from his life. But not in anger. Not with drama. She left with grace, with quiet strength, because when a woman finally chooses peace over pain, she never looks back. Now, he watches from a distance. Watches her laugh like she used to. Watches her build a future, one that was once meant to be theirs. But it's not his anymore. Because he gave her every reason to walk away, and not a single reason to stay. He thought she'd wait forever. But even the most patient hearts eventually grow tired of feeling unloved. Now he watches from a distance, as she builds a future that was once meant for them. He saw her smiling again. But not with him. There she was, laughing like she used to, eyes sparkling like they did when she believed in forever. But this time, she was glowing in someone else's arms. And that's when it hit him. She wasn't broken. She wasn't dramatic. She wasn't asking for too much. She was simply asking to be loved right. He used to think she'd never leave. That no matter how cold he got, how distant, how selfish, she'd always be there. Because that's what she did. She stayed. Through late replies, through unexplained nights out, through all the times he chose the world over her. She stayed, not because she didn't know her worth, but because she loved him enough to hope he'd wake up and choose her too. But he didn't. He chose temporary attention over long-term affection. He chose distractions over devotion. He chose everything, except her. And she? She finally chose herself. She stopped checking his phone. Stopped waiting for late-night calls. Stopped crying herself to sleep, wondering what she did wrong. Because she realized, she was never the problem. He was. She had been his peace, his anchor, the calm in his storm. But he mistook her calmness for weakness, her loyalty for naivety. her patience for permanence. And now, standing there, watching her smile in the arms of someone who saw her worth from day one. He felt something he hadn't felt before. Loss. Not the kind you feel when you misplace something. But the kind that lives deep in your chest. The kind that whispers at night, "You had everything," and let it slip away. He wanted to go back. To unsay the things he never meant. To undo the hurt. To start over. But time doesn't rewind for the lessons we learn too late. She wasn't waiting anymore. She was healing. Loving. Living. Becoming the version of herself she had once tried to be for him. And him? He's left with memories. Of her laughter in the kitchen, her sleepy voice on early mornings, the text she used to send when she missed him. All gone. All replaced by silence. And a new man who knows what it means to hold on to a queen. He thought she'd never leave. He was wrong. She just left quietly. After giving her all, one last time. He lost a queen chasing temporary feelings. And now regret is his only companion.